Hi guys, it's Hinda. Welcome to Cooking Fantasies. In today's video, we're going to be making these delicious vanilla custard filled donuts. They have a delicious crunchy layer outside and they're so soft and fluffy from the inside. They taste very good and they're really easy to make. If you are new to the channel, I always leave down in the description box all the ingredients you're going to need in both the grams and the cups measurements, as well as a link to the full recipe where you could also print it. If you're also new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell to get all the notifications, and let's get baking. We're going to start first by hydrating the active dry yeast by adding about the third amount of the milk. So I measured the milk I needed for the recipe and I took about the third. It doesn't have to be exact. In a mixing bowl, I add the flour. It's all-purpose flour, sugar, my vanilla. You can use vanilla extract or vanilla sugar, salt, and a beaten egg. The egg should be, of course, in room temperature. And for this recipe, I'm using a machine. You can also do it with the hand. It's very easy. I'm gonna be adding the egg to the mixture. Then add the rest of the milk. That should be warm but not too hot, and use a hook to mix the dough. You can also do this with the hand, as I said. Then go ahead and add the yeast with the milk we have mixed at the beginning to the dough. Try not to pour it directly onto the salt and start mixing all the ingredients together. You just need a quick mix, not to have dry ingredients anymore. And when it starts coming together, I'm gonna add the butter, which should be, of course, soft and in room temperature. I'm gonna add it to the dough and mix everything together enough until the dough starts coming out and separating from the bowl. As you see, you must have a very soft and nice smooth dough that doesn't stick to the hand. This is the texture you should be looking for. Cover the dough to rest for 10 minutes, just enough time to prepare your working surface and your filling. We don't need to let it rise or anything. We are going to do this later. And then I'm going to separate my dough into two smaller bowls. I'm going to roll each ball of dough separately, and I'm going to cut it into 4 donuts, and later on I'm going to use the cuttings to roll other donuts. So in total you could make between 10 to 12 donuts if you made them the size I did, but of course you can make them much smaller, which is maybe nicer depending on how you want them. Then you must cut it into smaller pieces, but this is just a suggestion if you want to make 12 donuts in the size I made. So I rolled my dough, not too thin, not too thick as you see in the video, and I'm going to cut it into 4 squares. And as you see, the dough is very soft, so you don't need flour to work it. But if it's sticking, go ahead and use the smallest amount of flour on your working surface to make it easier. Then go ahead, use a knife and cut it into small stripes, about the third of your square. And we're gonna keep the other 2/3 for the filling. I went for vanilla custard. We're not going to be making custard in this video because I made a lot of custard recipes in previous videos. I'm going to be leaving the links down in the description box. You can use your favorite custard filling. You can use Nutella, any nut butter of your choice, or you can use a marmalade or a jam, strawberry or whatever you prefer. Any filling that you prefer, you're going to be adding at this point. Make sure to seal it. You don't want the filling to be going into the oil when you're frying them, so make sure to seal it good. I'm using the back of a spoon or the other end of a spoon to do that, and then go ahead and roll your dough. Also make sure to roll it quite tight, and it's also better if you pinch the ends of the stripes into the dough so that they don't open when they are frying, because I had this happening. So it's better if you do it at this point. You can also do it later. After finishing rolling all the donuts, I'm going to place them on a parchment paper or a floured surface and give them about 45 minutes to 1 hour to rise, or until they almost double in size. And then we're going to start frying them. For frying, I use unflavored vegetable oil, for whatever you use usually for frying, and the oil should be very hot. As soon as I place my donuts in the oil, I'm going to reduce the heat because I don't want them to burn immediately before they are cooked all the way through. And then I keep flipping them around and use a spoon to add the oil to the other surface on the top, so to make sure they are cooked evenly and all the way through. Have this nice golden brown color from the outside, but they should still be thoroughly cooked from the inside. So two things are important. You should be sealing your filling very tight while rolling your donuts, and you must have the heat not so high while they are frying. And what I like about this shape, it's so much fun because you end up having these kind of fingers from the outside, which are nicely crispy, fried, so delicious. They're so much fun to eat. You can pick them and eat one by one. That's actually how I eat them. And then you still have these nice donuts in the inside with the filling. Of course, before starting to fry, I would suggest you to have some kitchen towels on the side, and you want to place them on the kitchen towel